Give me a
or
second.
whichever way. I don't know which way that is for
This
you.
like this is like a mirror, so it's like
I
the
know, right?
opposite.
It fucks you up.
Okay, I need to take this away. Okay.
Sweet, thanks. All right, dude. Well, I mean, honestly, it's funny that we're doing this podcast now because I think I called you the other day, or I forget. I was supposed to call you, or I don't even fucking know, but it didn't happen. So now we're gonna catch up right here live on YouTube. So that's what's gonna happen
Perfect.
here. So all right, so it's live on. Just want to double check that everything's going here. I'm gonna check my audio real quick. All right. Hell yeah. Okay. It's good to go on YouTube. Good to go on Discord. The amount of times I've done a full live and then it fucked up and then I didn't find out till after hurts me, dude. GC, you are first. GC is first in the house. What's good, GC? Thanks for being here.
Oh, what's up,
So,
guys?
guys, if you're not watching this live, sorry, you should have watched this live. It's better live. What's up, Bryce? Bryce is my community manager in here. He says he's a coder. He is a coder. So, welcome to the Joyage Kingdom, everybody. In today's episode, we have one of my yeah, we'll just go ahead. We'll bump into the top. My best friend met him in college in the weirdest fucking way possible. This is probably our third or fourth podcast we've recorded together.
Yeah,
We recorded one during the height of Black Lives Matter movement. We recorded one, I think, right before I left for my trip, and then we haven't had one since. So I thought it would be good. He's a philosopher in the making. He's a coder about to change the world, but we're going to try and get him to quit his job today and to join the NFT world because I think he would do well there. So, anyways, sweet. Well, it's good to have you on, dude.
it's nice to have me here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. I'm glad
Been a
to,
fat minute.
yeah, fat man. And probably before you actually really started like the Joyage journey, I was, there before you came up with this idea and stuff like that. So it's really good to, be here when you're kind of like solidifying yourself and, creating this foundation for yourself.
Yeah,
This is
it's good to
better
have
than
people
what we
like that
used to
too.
be.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's good to have friends who I knew before. I don't even tell people I do YouTube stuff. I just know from my personal experience if I met someone who's a YouTuber, I'd want to be their friend more because they're a YouTuber. And so I try not to like lead with that when I meet anybody new. But it's good to have people who knew you before, and you're one of the only friends I've really kept in contact with, especially since college or high school even. And you did take that extra step. That's probably the main reason we're friends is because we kind of go out our way to make sure we good. Every now and then we'll send like a text
like,
because life gets busy. It's fucking. Sometimes you'll send me a message and be like, "Yo, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, like good." Like same as last time I texted you. Then I'll look and I'm like, "Holy shit, it's been like 3 months since we
yeah,
talked." Because life flies fucking by. It flies really, really fast.
exactly.
Um, GC says he's tried his hand at software, wasn't his thing. We got Ellie saying coding makes good money. It makes good money, bro. Do you want to talk about that? So Sasha went to school for computer science. I almost went to school for computer science. That's how we met originally. I was struggling hard, but we were in Japanese class together, and this kid was a beast in computer science, and we did Japanese class together. But talk about well, actually no, we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about how we met because people probably don't know that story because
Yeah,
I've recently blew up.
facts. I think the first time we met, you were a sophomore, and I was just beginning my first year at the College of Charleston. Typically, my daily schedule was like, I go to classes to like 11, 12 o'clock, and then I'll always hit the cafeteria because we have class right after that. And every day I went to the cafeteria, I did my Japanese homework because procrastinated, never did it, beforehand. So I'm sitting there struggling doing my Japanese homework. And every time I went to the cafeteria, Cade was sitting on like the opposite corner, doing his own thing, eating, talking to people. And I
What
remember
was I doing? Was I just doing homework
I
or was I
don't
eating?
remember. I like you just chilling, I guess, just eating. You were like maybe doing homework sometimes because it was multiple times that we kind of like met at that location and saw each other.
Mm.
And so I saw you like 3 to 4 times, and I was like, dude, I know he's from my class, this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay, let me like, I need like, oh, I remember he's half Japanese. He's been doing pretty well in the class. Let me go talk to him, see if he doesn't mind like giving me a hand with the remainder of my homework. So I went over there and just said, "Hey, man, like I've been, I'm struggling, which now I probably I don't struggle as much anymore since I studied a lot. But I was struggling. Reached out to the man. That's when he talked to his ex girlfriend Megan.
Oh
You-
yeah, that was like literally right when we met.
yeah,
Because I remember we sent a Snapchat to her.
yeah, I know you were FaceTiming her.
Oh shit.
She was
R.I.P.
helping you. She was helping you with your math homework.
Oh yeah, that is how we started. How me and her like originally started talking after we went out that night. You weren't with us that first night though, right?
No,
That
no,
I met her.
no.
Cool. Bryce just put in the text. He says, "Shanti, I don't know who you are. We haven't met yet, but at the end of this video, I know you'll be quitting your job while screaming Joyage Kingdom on video."
Is that a bet price? I put $100.
$100?
A
Shit.
$100.
So yeah. So we met that way. We it was Japanese originally, and then I think I don't think I was no, I was computer science major at that point, right?
Yes.
Was I
No, you
sophomore
were
year?
still. No, you have. Ooh, that's a hard one. Yes, I believe you were.
Wait, I
Switching.
was. Yes, yeah, because I switched out of computer science. So what happened was me and him became friends originally through Japanese class.
Yeah.
We started hanging out. We always fucked around in class. That was the main reason we got along so well. So we
We
ended
had
up just
conversation.
yeah. We had conversation that was super fun, and so we fucked around in Japanese class. We had a really funny professor. He was just like I don't know. I definitely just didn't care because I already knew Japanese, so I just didn't give a fuck. You were trying to give a fuck really hard, but it probably made it hard because we sat next to each other in the back of the class.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then computer science, that was really I don't know how much we connected. Like it was probably even, but computer science is where I got absolutely fucking demolished. As why I'm not a coder, and you were really good at this stuff. And so basically, I helped him with Japanese, and he got better with that. And then he basically did computer science for me. So thank you for that, because I would not have survived computer science without that. But
I
you were a
remember.
beast.
I remember it was final exam, guys, and I took like an hour off too, which is a bad idea on an empty stomach. I do not recommend it. But I was going, I was rolling, and I remember going to the final exam with for Dr. Stavi for our programming one class. It was for a programming one class, and like
I
the
hated
paper
her.
was like 5 to 7 pages long of like doing this simple like reading this program, what is it doing the iterations, whatever. And I remember I was like still going, like I was memorizing each question after I did it. I was like knocking it out, memorizing, finished in like a good 30 minutes probably.
Oh
And
man.
submitted it. I remember I got on the trolley to head back downtown. And I called Kay. I was like, bro, get to Bistro right now, which is yeah. Because I got to like write all the questions down for you
I
before
remember this shit.
and so we go into the cafeteria. I told him I got paper out. I wrote each question for him in detail and told him how to answer it. And then this man go to the exam, doesn't remember shit, nothing. He did not study the questions. He didn't write them,
It was too late, bro.
beforehand when it
No
was the same
chance.
question, and he got like a D or something.
I probably got a D, I would say. I think my final grade in that class was a C minus or a D plus. It was Jesus. Do you hear my dog barking?
Yeah,
My God. Yeah, no, I definitely got it was either a C minus or a D plus. It was really bad. And that was the one class besides chemistry, I think, that killed me. And yeah, that hurt my GPA a little bit, but it was no problem for anyone who's in college. You're gonna be fine if you fuck up and your GPA takes a hit. It's totally fine. And you can change your major 25 times. I was nursing freshman year, computer science for sophomore year, and then I think junior year is when I switched over because
the
I think I
public
only
health.
survived that one year, and I was like, "There's no way I'll survive next year." So I said, "Fuck it," and I jumped into public health. You stay in computer science, and now you graduated that shit. It was difficult, but you graduated, and then you got offered a job like immediately. What are you doing right now?
Yes, as of right now, I am a controls engineer for Boss Group, which is a huge manufacturing technology and service company. Basically, what Boss Group does is it has pretty much 4 divisions. We have their mobility solution division, their industrial technology, their consumer goods, energy, building, and technology. And it's probably one of the leading companies out here in manufacturing.
Mm,
Here, where I live at right now, called Charleston, we have the biggest manufacturing plant for automobiles. So I work in their automobile divisions. We build brakes, pumps, and injectors, and I work in their pump division. And so basically, what I do as a control engineer, I program maintenance, dynamic systems, so vision systems, robots, automated systems, cylinders, any type of machine you can think of, manufacturing machine. I probably work on a program. I give it the automated sequences that it does to move to make our components, our parts to make the pumps, to make the injectors, and to make the brakes. And so right now, I'm diving straight into learning how to, program my own machines, how to write the automated sequences, how to take a lot of these machineries, these interdrivers, and these cylinders apart, and learn how the whole machine works, basically. So it's been a great opportunity. I'm working for an amazing company that has a lot of opportunities to grow, has a lot of connections, it has a lot of chances for me to move on and do like great things. So, I've been pretty lucky. I've been pretty blessed to be able to have this opportunity and just be doing what I'm doing right now, in this type of field, being like a leading engineer for, a high manufacturing company, that's a international company that's known across the world. And I don't think a lot of people know, if you look at your phones, the feature of your phone that you turn your phone sideways, it will mirror that, and your screen will turn sideways also. That sensor in your phone, we at Bosch made that. So
Sheesh.
that's like
Yeah,
just
well,
a little,
fuck you, because I never use that. Mine's always on lock because I
same,
hate when it switches, bro.
same.
so, so, but yo,
So,
is anyone talking about NFTs at that company? Like, it's a lot of tech people.
yes,
Like
actually,
NFTs are circling around.
yes, actually, I just had a conversation with my work buddy, my gym buddy, an older guy, who's been giving me a lot of advice within and outside the gym. And like yesterday, just literally, he was reading a article about Snoop Dogg and how he's creating like the Snoop verse,
Mm,
and how that's going behind creating it, how he's selling plots of land, how he wants to do his own concert there, how much land's going to be, and he's working with these big name companies to create this virtual world that people will soon be emerging in, and just talking about also how they do like bodysuits, for sensories, and like how now you can actually feel along with the visual impairment that they give you, and that type of thing. So, and they're just talking about NFT and how people put value to this, and how now, because people put value to it, it's becoming an identity, and it's a train that you need to hop on, because we as people are manifesting this to be a realistic and dynamic thing that's going to sweep the world, be
mm.
like along with NFTs and the metaverse, going to the new internet 4.0.
Yeah, dude, I'm honestly surprised. I'm not surprised. I think it's interesting hearing what NFTs sound like from people who are professionals in the field that is that is underlying the technology, like who work with this kind of shit, like coding. It's interesting their perspective on it because similarly to like politics or religion, it's interesting seeing people who are extremely educated and smart, but then they think about certain things like NFTs or politics or something, and then they use their emotional side of their brain to think about it. And I'm like, why wouldn't you use your brain that's like smart to think about these things in that way rather than just like casting it off? Like you'll have someone who's extremely reasonable, super chill, and then you'll find out they're like a diehard political person for like this side or the other, and you're just like, whoa, like where the fuck did that come from? You're
Yeah.
so normal and reasonable, and then you just come out of the woods like a fucking psychopath. And so it's kind of interesting hearing that. Like, what are their thoughts toward NFTs? Are they chill about it, and they're like, yeah, like it's whatever, or there's some people who are hella against it?
Like for example, the friend I was talking to previously about like the Snoop verse, and that side of the world, and the universe that is building. He's loving it. He's like, dude, this is gonna be the new thing. It's something that we need to hop onto.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we need to be a part of and branch onto. So he's been pretty excited with the idea of NFTs and just the metaverse in general, and what the possibility it has, and how NFT can just be brought into daily life, being like the blockchain, and doing like what it'd be like if you got like a watch, and it'd be like your verification or identification on the blockchain with that NFT,
Mm-hmm.
talking about that stuff, that how he's excited for those type of things. But I also have friends not in the same space as I am, as an engineer, as a computer scientist, who do more artistic and more crafts type of career. They're frightened by it, and they don't want to subject themselves to that type of world, that they feel like you're rejecting life, rejecting that realism.
Yeah.
that we as people are putting value to something that I don't believe truly has value, you know. So you see both spectrums of sides, you know.
What do you think about it? Because right now, I would say social media is already that's the majority of life for a lot of people. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people who travel to places just so they can get Instagram pictures. When I was traveling in my car, the amount of people that I saw, because I'm out here like spending 3 or 4 days in a national park at a time, and I've been in places where there's a lot of tourists, and they'll come in and literally do like a 4 mile hike, walk up to the spot to take the normal picture that everyone takes at the same spot, take the picture and walk off immediately. Not even like sit there for 5 seconds to take in anything. They're just peace. They're out. They got their Instagram picture and they're done. And there's like no difference for me with that with the metaverse. I'm like, all that is like the metaverse for me is just like that's just the next step. It's not this big ass different whole thing. It's just like where we're headed, in my opinion. What is your opinion on it? Now that since you have a way bigger background in some of the ways that this is going to happen, what are your thoughts on it? Because mine's not coming from a coding perspective or a text perspective as much, more like a culture one. But
Ooh. For me, it's scary. Not in a bad way. I think everything that's unknown that brings change is scary. It's frightening, and it makes us have a self mechanism to reject it. Because I always thought about this. I remember I was working with my mentor, the lead engineer at the manufacturing plant that I work at, who built crazy things, and he told me to do something, to make something do something in a certain way. And I thought it was impossible. I was like, there's no way we can do this. There's no way that it can manipulate it like this. But he said that there is a way. And he showed me how to do it. And he told me that it's not that it's not a way. It's just that your brain or the knowledge that you accumulate just doesn't know of it. It hasn't
damn.
experienced that. It hasn't, you weren't capable of thinking of that
Hmm.
because it was kind of a restriction because the amount of knowledge you accumulate only, we develop the world, the labels, the social construct based on our experiences, you know,
Yeah.
depending on how, deep of sociology you want to get to, or psychology, being that, we were born with a white slate and we
Hmm.
don't have any experience and we accumulate those experiences as we grow. Or you're on the opposite, other side where you say we're not a white slate, and that when we're born, we do have certain signals to tell us not to do things. Like we know if we, um, hit an apple off the table, it will fall on the ground. You don't have to experience that. And so, in his mind, it was just that it wasn't the experience that I accumulated, the knowledge that I had, just wouldn't allow me to think in that way, to come up with that. And I think that's the
Hmm.
same thing that's frightening me with NFTs is that I guess my brain, the accumulation of my knowledge, the way I live my life as of now, who I am as an individual, accumulated by these experiences, memories, maybe doesn't know that if it's that is possible, just because I don't have the knowledge or the awareness to see that.
Yeah.
If you understand what I mean. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so the direction we're going to do, like, I've always been a fan of fantasy. I love anime. Definitely watch Sword Art Online, which Dive is something that, super fantasy anime, so good. It is really about exactly what we do, creating a virtual universe that we can dive into by connecting our brains, to the space. You have full immersion. You see what happens, and I also think, so like, before I say that, so in that aspect, I said, dude, this looks amazing. I would love to be involved in this. Would love to experience that and love to be associated with that. But when you think about, okay, can we truly have a full dive experience by connecting our brain? I don't think we have the technology, and
Mm.
efficiency to make that type of virtual multiverse. So when we put, but like I said, I might not just have enough knowledge or experience to say that. But when we put all this value to it and blowing it, I seen like, it could be out of proportion where it's like, yes, this has great potential, but is it something we're going to reach in the next 10 years? Something we're going to reach in the next 20 years? We think about, when the Wii came out in like 28, 2012, somewhere around there, till we got the, the Meta, Oculus, um, I cannot think right now, but the
The
goggles.
Oculus,
Yeah,
Oculus Quest.
goggles,
Yeah.
the advancement of technology from then and there is not that much,
Mm-hmm.
you know, based on manipulating the movements, moving it around. You're still basically doing the same things, maybe a higher definition, higher HD, but like it's basically like doing the same things. So how long would it take us to, create something that people are, saying it's going to be this big grand things? I think it's going to take, a while to be, to build that type of, awkward structure, that type of, foundation where like people can just be immersed in that type of things, hold weddings on land, drive cars, have full blown concerts that'll give you a full dive experience, you
Yeah.
know. So as much as I like the idea and this could also be like, a famous actor once said to make us believe in something, you just have to really show it to them over and over again. So you think how the media manipulates us
Yeah.
believing how bad if we go on this route, how bad the future will be. I think you watch any movie, Eagle's Eye, any TV show, Westworld, you know, Alter Carbon, these type of movies where, Terminator, let's go like, like that. You know, they always say us advancing in that type of, space leads to destruction.
Yeah.
And so you get shown that so many times over and over and over. It makes a lot of people believe that, this direction, we see it in TV shows, we see it in movies. If we go this direction, why are we going this direction? You know, and so that also plays a huge part in what, people believe and also what I believe at the same time. And so, yes, I really do think like, this is a wonderful direction that we're heading to, and what we're creating has tremendous possibilities. But I have doubt if we can advance to that type of level, hopefully by, my lifetime, you know, hopefully, I'd be able to see that, or, I don't know how long that will take to fully, because I think, especially people who are not programmers, who are not full dev people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, AI machine learning people don't know how difficult it is to make something like that. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Especially something like Westworld, something that big and something that immersive. I think we are probably a little whiles away. But if we think 20 years ago, so that'd be like about as old as we are, a few years before. Um, 20 years ago was a very, 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 very different world. And I don't know what law it is, but like every 7 years or whatever, technology doubles or something stupid like that.
oh yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, so I think we're close in the sense of like not Westworld. I don't think we're remotely close to that, but I think the metaverse in terms of people jumping in and how people can spend 3 hours on TikTok and just not even know what happened. I think it'll be whatever that next level is in a metaverse of sorts where you're in a club and you go in and you can do stuff. But I don't think we really know exactly what it's going to look like either, and that's why people are excited. Right now, the NFT market is just a casino. It's just people flipping stuff. There's nothing else going on. Like it doesn't matter if there's utility. People don't care. They're looking to flip, even if it has
No
all the
user
utility in
value.
the world.
Yeah,
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 so that's all it is right now. And this is like chapter one of NFTs. So it'll be different each time. I am excited for the like a Westworld style game. Like I've always thought about being into like a fully immersive game. That would be fucking insane. But I am scared about people I mean, I guess it's not a problem. It's just like I don't know. I just don't know where it's going to lead. Like how you said, like it could lead to destruction. Like I don't know where it's going to lead if people just spend their entire life in the metaverse. Like, is that even bad? It's like that's not really anyone's decision to make. It's more just like an opinion based on your own life, and everyone's got
yeah,
like a different life. You know,
exactly, exactly.
we
And
have
so
some
you have
good
to really
people's
think.
opinions in here.
You really think, people live in their own worlds. We create, what the world means to us. You
Yeah,
know, and so the way I see the world not going to be the same way you see the world. Where
exactly.
you see the world, is going and what the advancements are. I lack so many things, knowledge. It's definitely one of them. You always learning, and so I have a very limited mindset because I don't have the necessary knowledge to fully back up what I'm saying. It's very subjective, how I
Hmm.
feel, and I'm
Yeah,
more. Even if I try to be logical, it's also an emotional standpoint at the same time. And
yeah,
so
exactly, exactly.
you really, just go with how you feel, and how you experience the world,
Hmm.
you know. to somebody, to someone who sees this world as something so beautiful, maybe it'll put you off. Somebody who sees that, this world needs to advance and that this is, it's not that great here. Hey, let's bounce it to the multiverse, bro, and let's do our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you view the world and where you think the world needs to head.
And where you're fucking at that moment. Like if you were trying to convince someone to do NFTs or something, and they were on the cusp of getting it, and then tomorrow they fucking tripped on DMT, they don't give a fuck about NFTs if they tripped on DMT the night before. So it's like it's wild that the subjective experience is literally everything. So there's no point even convincing anyone because you don't know where they're at. They may have literally just taken drugs last night and their whole life flip flopped upside down. Like you remember back in college when I had like my psycho breakdown when I first took acid and I like changed. I remember the first night I took it with David. I don't know if you were there that first night, but that next day I had to go to work and I was like, well, you haven't taken, well, actually, we won't talk about that since you're in the workforce. But anyways, with acid, the very first time I did it, like my reality was shattered. I was like, whoa, there's this whole other realm of consciousness that you can access in this world. It's like everything I dreamed of, like being able to run around in like Pokemon world, but believe it. And that's what it felt like. And I was like, this is wild. And then I was just kind of like in the dumps, you get that dump after all that, after all those, all your endorphins are up and all that stuff. So the next day I was at work and I'm sitting there just like at the multicultural center at the front desk, just like,
Yeah.
and it was brutal, but you couldn't have got me to do jack shit. If you came up to me that day and said, Cade, bro, buy fucking crypto punks. This is it. I would have been like, oh, shut up. There's too much
also,
shit going on.
but also I think you might just say fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what
True.
I'm saying?
That's also true.
A lot of people, talk about, when we are more aware of things, we're more limited to the things we do. Being like, if I will jump off these stairs, or if I'll, try to jump in this pool off this roof. But when we're drunk, if you're high or wherever state you in, you get to a point where you're looking at the stairs, you're like, fuck it. Because not that you don't lack the awareness, but you give up the restrictions you place on yourself to just be spontaneous, to just do something and see what happens. So you jump, you buy that, NFT, you jump off the roof to get in that pool. So it puts you in that state where you kind of break your limiters, give less attention to your mind and just do it and be more spontaneous. It's like, oh, fuck it, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how, I wasn't in any type of substance or drunk or anything, but I just did that just recently where homie asked me to go to Atlanta to go see a concert. And I was really thinking about it, pretty much a hassle to go down there. Yeah. This, that, and the third. But then I got to a point where I'm like, dude, I'm overthinking this shit, bro. Just fuck it. Yeah.
That's very interesting that you came to that thing.
Yeah. I just thought about like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I got the cash. It's not like I'm limited to the cash. So what's holding me back? I need people spontaneous. I need to just do different things. You just, be spontaneous. Like, especially like, I cannot talk. Shit. And just be spontaneous and just do something. So I was like, fuck it. Why not? No, I won't make this time back. I can always make my cash back.
Agreed.
Now I'm not going like me going on a trip real quick. I got money. It's no issue. And so that spontaneous where you put less attention to your mind when you break those restrictions and like take a risk, just be spontaneous. And even when you're on substances, that's what happens. And that's really where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, literally. Matt says I quit my job to go full time, full Ugaverse. Now I live under a bridge.
You get to ask, is it worth it?
Funny.
Is the bridge nice under at least?
Yeah, hopefully it's a good bridge. Yeah, I hope you're okay, Matt. That's six. But no, that's definitely true about saying fuck it. Sometimes getting out of your head. That's something that I struggle with. Like I've been switching up my my routine in the morning to go and knock the gym out and read a little bit in the morning because all day I stress about the fact that I haven't gone to the gym and I haven't read. And it's frustrating because it's like impeding my work because I can't focus because all I can think about is the fact that I haven't done it yet. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to start in the morning now. And so I do that. But I'm also running into the problem that I take so long to wake up. So like it still takes me 2 hours to get from waking up to go to the gym. When in my head, I'm like, I should be able to wake up, read a couple of pages of a book and get out the door with under an hour easily. And it just never happens. I know it's just going to take me a little bit of time. but it's mainly because I'm sitting there like overthinking stuff. Like, well, let me check this first and like double check and make sure this is taken care of first. Should I read first? Should I shower first? Should I brush my and like all these completely unnecessary random ass thoughts that have no importance on anything. Like literally now, when I look back at my morning, it's like, bro, who cares which one you did? Like it doesn't matter. It makes no difference which one you did first. And if I look back 2 weeks ago and I think about that a morning 2 weeks ago, it's like I don't even remember what the thoughts were in my head because it literally makes no difference. So it's like 99% of our thoughts are so irrelevant to everything. It's almost sad how irrelevant most of our thoughts are.
Exactly. And I think it's like statistically, it's like, don't quote me on this. It's like 85 to 90% is subconscious thinking.
Yeah, dude.
So like, that blows my mind that only like 10 really is like conscious thinking and everything really else is just subconscious thinking. And then you just question, what is my subconscious made out of? There's no really theory or anything what our conscious is like, subconscious, what it really is, and what gives it, the power it does have over us.
Yeah, and it's wild because I've listened to some podcasts with like extreme experts in the field of like neuroscience, people who are like expert psychologists, like all these people who are the closest people to who could actually figure out what consciousness are. Not a single motherfucker knows. They're all like, oh, it's kind of like this thing and sort of like this, but like we really like don't know. And I'm just like,
Exactly.
wow, bruh.
You think about it, our brain, like say for the automated machines are right, I work on, we have sensors,
Mhm.
so many sensors all around these machines to give it that electrical, data, electrical currents to move, to manipulate. And basically, our cells, our nervous system, are just like signals, sensors that, once the electrical current from our brains, hit those signals, it manipulates and does a sequence. So if we work functionally just as machines, but what makes us different to a point where we have consciousness?
Mm.
You know, like what's different? Like what is the conscious then? You know,
Yeah.
if we both have these sensors that makes us move, do things, basically the same shit. What is our conscious? Like what makes our conscious to make us me, Ashanti, or you, Cade,
Right.
to feel like, and that's the question. That's all I'm always pondering. Like, we're nothing more than like just basically what machines are.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, there's almost no difference because if you can replicate it, the only difference is the fact that you just believe it, but it's like, what if the robot believes it? Like, it's the same
Exactly.
shit then. Like, what is the difference? And so I think it's interesting because we're the only, well, at least what we know of, we're the only one who thinks that we're different. And like, it needs to, we need to like, it's almost like humans need to be different or need to feel like we're different or we're just gonna fucking cry or something. Like we like have to feel like we're the species. Like when we think about aliens, for example, which is really interesting. I listened to this podcast about aliens, and the guy was like, "Why would the aliens bother?" We're like, "Well, like they would want to contact us because this and the other." And they're like, "Yeah, but like, why do you think they care? Like, what if ants were thinking the same shit about us?"
Exactly.
Ants are like, "Yo, they're gonna talk to us when they were like, bro, we don't give a fuck about you. Like, it makes no difference. Like, we don't care about you. Like, we're just gonna run you over if we need to make a road." Like, I know Elon Musk said that he was like, "If we need to make a road and there's an anthill, it's not personal, but we're knocking you over."
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are we so different? It's just because we want to be.
Yeah.
What's up, Skylar? I have one live on TikTok right now as well. It's just
That's dope.
was
It's
double
actually
streaming
funny.
right now.
I don't know if anybody's an SAO fan or an anime fan, but SAO is Sword Art Online, and like
Yeah.
basically they have this concept called a flux light. So
Mhm.
a flux light is just a term for like, I guess how they explain it is quantum mechanics, and it's basically a quantum particle that contains like the human consciousness and soul. So basically, like they call it like the quantum brain dynamic theory, I guess. And basically what happens is, dude, it's been a minute since I watched this shit too, so I'm trying to like think about the whole process. Um, so basically, I think, damn, now I'm going blank. So basically, I guess what they were saying, like it encompasses like all like biological cells and systems, and like a quantum like biodynamic, you know, system. And basically, what happens is that, damn, I'm trying to think. basically what happened. Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna make some random shit up now.
Go
But
for it.
basically, because it's fantasy, this is not even real, guys. So, like, this is just a concept that came up in the anime. So basically, they were saying the study, like, they studies show that if you connect it to VR, that you can record like a soul translator. And so basically, they said that it manipulates what they call a Eva Galliant photon, and it's like a light particle that acts as like a quantum unit of
Yeah.
the mind exists within like a micro turbulence nervous cell. And basically, the light particle is just in the state of indeterminism. I think that's the word. And
Yeah.
basically, it's just meaning a state where action might happen without apparent causes. And the flux lights, what they named it, according to the probability theory, is a collection of these particles, and it creates a quantum field, which um, what they call like a flux light, which
Yeah.
basically is the human's consciousness. So basically, they're saying like these light particles that are in a state where action might happen without any causes, and creates a quantum field is what makes up our consciousness. So basically, if that didn't make sense to any of you guys, basically what they're saying is how I describe the machine. They have sensors. We give them these commands, these signals, these electrical signals to make them move and manipulate. And our brain works in a similar way, where we give the electrical signals to our nervous systems and bodies to move in a manipulative way. We give calls to this. Basically, our consciousness is something, an action, a state of particles, in our nervous cells where have no causes, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
basically, we're like the thinkers, of the body.
Hmm.
We are the accumulation of these particles that creates like a quantum field of actions and things that have no cause, that our nervous system, our brain does not put signals to move our bodies, basically. And so I thought that was just a cool concept that came up in the show about how the consciousness work and how they brought it into like um, um, mechatronics, computer science, point of view about
Yeah.
the idea what the consciousness was.
Dude, consciousness is interesting because, like, if anyone's seen Westworld on HBO, if you haven't, you should. It's pretty fucking. It's a wild ass show,
Yeah.
and it's about consciousness, sort of, and it's also like a mix of like a bunch of things, but like AI waking up and becoming sentient, and like what is the difference between robots and people if they're sentient? Like, what is the difference? If they look like us, they think like us, they believe they're real, they believe they have a fate and destiny, and all that. Like, what is the difference?
And yeah,
And it was a really interesting show.
and it's really funny because do you you can tell the audience also, the people who are on the live chats, do you know why they started becoming more realistic to humans? If you remember how they started being aware and why they actually started doing the
Well,
things they did.
there was like a coding issue. Like someone left a
Yeah.
sticker on the ground, right? It was like basically a coder messed up is sort of what it could have been.
And it was an idea where it was an upgrade.
Oh,
It was the
right. And they
upgrade.
just
And
left
basically what
something out.
happened is typically when the machines die, break down, have a trauma, whatever, they delete the memory,
Hmm.
of that robot. Everything it experienced, all the, the memory it obtained, all the information it obtained, it goes
Mm.
back to what they call base position. So it goes back to when they first were, came out of manufacturing and put in the scene that they were supposed to be in. But
Yeah.
what happened with the update is instead of deleting all this information, all these memories that they accumulated, it stored them, in
Hmm.
a database, within the machines. I really don't know exactly, how they stored it, but they started having accumulation of these information, these memories, you can so to speak, and then they start connecting the dots. Saying I don't want to. Why did I experience this? Why are they doing this to me? There are people also, especially AI. We have all this information, and you create a module, and to learn from it, now you start questioning things of why you're experiencing, these type of things, and then that's when they started questioning things.
Dude, AI shit is fucking super interesting. Are you looking to like with your skills in coding and that world of computer science has AI. Are you trying to do AI or not?
We're actually introducing AI into our manufacturing plant
Oh shit!
to do
We're about to take over.
to run the machines, to do predictive maintenance, to determine and allowing the AI to predict and tell us when a machine might be going down, when it doesn't reach these thresholds, to tell us when
Hmm.
we need to work on the machines. We're also calculating a threshold. Based on all this data, we want you to predict where the entry point is for us to um, press into this machine, into
Hmm.
this product. And so we actually just did a seminar on how to introduce, AI machine learning into the manufacturing plant and to basically, take over and run it through the entire, plant, where now we have all this predictive, all this, ways to like enhance and improve the plant. So yes, I'll be working with AI very soon. We already have two projects, in our manufacturing plant that we should be starting within the next 6 months with AI and machine
Damn.
learning. So
What are your thoughts on AI from maybe from your personal opinion, and then also as someone working in the industry? What do you think about AI? We fucked.
I mean, like I said, I told you about, how to make people believe in things. And
Hmm.
we watch these TV shows and we watch these movies and see what AI becomes when it has too much knowledge. If it has action, that has no cause, the flux light, and start having a consciousness. We see
Yeah.
these type of things. And so it's worrying to see that what the fuck if that happens? You know,
Is that a thing? Like from your perspective as a coder, though, when you bring your emotional side out of it, is that like a thing, or is this like not really something we should be worrying about?
I think it could be a thing. Definitely.
Damn.
Because honestly, you have to think like we don't know what truly makes up the subconscious or the consciousness.
Hmm.
You know,
True.
if you think about the imaginary fantasy way that SAO, so art online, created a flux light, which is the quantum field. Um, if that's true, then yes, they could have consciousness. You know, till a point where they start, they do an action that has no cause into their
Hmm.
program. And based on them learning knowledge and knowledge and knowledge and knowledge, this has a chance to become aware. And so now you ask yourself the question is it supposed to take over people's lives or just be a helping hand?
Yeah.
If it's supposed to be a helping hand, you can limit it completely. It doesn't need to do that much. Some predictive, algorithms, and this, that, and the third, but it doesn't have to be too advanced. So
Dude,
in
we're gonna need a bunch of new, like for example, when we go into Mars or space or something, when Elon gets us to Mars and they're gonna colonize it and shit, like who owns that stuff? Who gets to decide things? Like we're gonna need lawyers, we're gonna need philosophers, we're gonna need like a whole new set of people for these new jobs. Like when NFTs take over, and then we go in the metaverse and we have these AI machines that are doing this, that, and the other. It's like who decides? Like if you have an AI system that does not have boundaries and they're just like, nah, we're letting this one free. It's like, okay, well, so everyone who buys it is able to do that. So there's no control ever. And then you're like, okay, well, maybe we do put some boundaries. Like, okay, well, who decides that? Is it a private company? They can do whatever the fuck they want and then they can sell it because it's private. And now we have all these like ticking time bombs running around. Or is it like, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Like, do you think it's going to be in our lifetime that we see things like, I don't know, uh, butlers that are robots, like straight up robots, but it's kind of like Interstellar where they have sort of a personality or nah?
no,
You don't think
not
so?
not
At the
not in my
speed
life,
technology is moving?
not in my lifetime. No.
What if we extend our life? What if humans start to live till 200?
Oh, then word. Yeah,
Yeah, you think so? You think
yeah.
we're within a couple hundred years of like the craziest shit in as far as robotics and stuff?
If we don't destroy ourselves, if we don't regress, I think
Damn.
we definitely will go to a period of regression.
Mhm.
You know, regardless, and that just shows with the way we're living our lives. As the way the world's going, there's going to be a point where we will go into regression, and it could be regression for 80 to 100 years, depending on how significant the impact is, to the human race. And if
Hmm.
people are saying, environmental things to war to, to something unexpected happening, a nuclear fission reactor blows up or some shit. I think we're going to a point in our lives where we're leading ourselves into destruction, and we're going to regress to a certain point in our lives. So depending on when that happens, you know, we could be at the top of the world, doing shit if it doesn't happen for a long time in the future, or we could regress for a little while, and so
Yeah.
be, take time to build back up.
Where do you think people are going to start adding in higher level technology, whether that's NFTs or AI or anything that's next level shit? Where are people going to allocate those funds to? Is it going to be like gaming? Like where do you use technology? Where do you think it's going to be?
Well, the first places I think technologies go, those that type of technology, that more type of advanced technology. Where do I think it will be? I think
Like, is
it's
it going
going
to
to
be
be.
going towards high money, like where money is the big like profit? Is it going to be profit based stuff that it goes first to? You think?
Now, I think it's going to be to the people. Because any business is a people person. It's a people business.
Hmm.
And so the only way to really truly do it is, to give it to the masses. And so I feel like, and you think about the advancement of phones, computers, you know,
Mm,
these type of technologies, and it was given to the people first,
yeah,
you know. And so I really think, the way we're going is going to go straight to the people first. And then from there, we create, you know, meaning to it.
yeah.
We construct it, we manifest it, and that's when it will take off.
That'd be wild, dude. Where do you use technology at all? Outside of your work life, are you using technology much, or what kind of stuff are you doing right now outside of work?
Ooh, technology. Uh,
Other
and
than
like what?
watching anime,
No, no, I don't
like
do
you're
all
using
that.
tech much outside in your normal life, or is it kind of like you're sick of it after you're all day at work and shit?
Ooh, Todd, I am not young actually. You'd be surprised by my
He's
age.
an old man,
um,
45-year-old man.
about 45, Todd. So thank you so much, though. But yes, I still use technology, even on my daily computer. I've been getting into what we call raindrops, which is creating like digital movement wallpapers and visual effects on machines, like on your computer, having like a wallpaper that can move, interact, And then there's this thing called Jarvis, just like Iron Man, where it's a AI that eventually predicts the things you want to do, things you want to be said. So I have
Hmm.
that on my computer, and I'm feeding it a lot of data to start predicting and to start being like a Jarvis type task person. I want to like try to integrate it with the wallpaper and be like my little, waifu 2D character doing shit for me. If I want to go to Google, she point to Google and press it, and it will go to Google. You
Yeah.
know, that type of stuff. So like I'm doing that, and I'm trying to get back into web development. I'm thinking about I had that idea about that website I wanted to create. So I might try to look at creating that website and and start a business from that. So I still was using technology, using a little bit of AI, web dev, so I'm still
Mm,
using technology. I'm trying to, my whole thing is, like I want people to feel heard, remember, and understood. So I want to create technology that is going to be a beneficial and help a hand to other people.
yeah. Yeah. GC says 45 ain't no fucking way. Yo, do you remember so this was the funniest story. Me and I had an alumni soccer game and this must have been
Oh, shit.
2018 or something, and I was still in college. We were still in college, and I was like, "Yo, my ex bailed on me. She's not coming. She's an asshole, so she's not coming." She waited last minute. She had like art project or something, so she couldn't go. So, anyways, Asha was like, "All right, well, I'll go. I mean, I'll watch a soccer game." And GC, I'm 23, almost 24, and so he comes, and I was like, "Yo, just bring your cleats." Just in case, like we'll see what happens. And this is an alumni game, so I didn't know how many people were going to be there. We showed up, And that team, Portugal's team, won state that year, which is hilarious because we fucking wrecked them.
Oh yeah,
We
we were
fucking
out of them.
wrecked them like 7 or 8-0 or something. I think
Yeah.
they scored one time. But me, like about 5 minutes in, they were like, "Shit, like we need one more guy on the alumni team. Like we needed one more guy." And I looked in the stands. There's fucking like 12 people watching, and I was like, all right. So I walked up there. I was like, "Get your shoes on," and he jumped into the game. He's not even an alumni, dude. He just like walked up on the field and pretended like he was.
Yeah, I
And
said I
he's
was like
like, "Yeah,
graduating
you
like
remember what happened?"
1998. I told him I graduated in like 1998 or something.
Yeah,
Like I graduated in some weird time. And
yeah. You were like, "I'm really old, guys. I'm really old," and they were
yeah,
like,
I'm
"Oh,
really
okay,
old.
cool."
And I was dressed fancy. I had a nice button-up shirt, some nice
Oh
khaki
yeah,
shorts. I had like the Steve Madden shoes on. I had a good bun on my head, wearing my
yeah. So it
glasses.
was believable.
Yeah, so like I was looking the part, and so then they just threw me in some like a jersey and some shorts and told me to put my shoes on and just I get out there. You know what I'm saying? And
People thought this man was gonna be limping around. They didn't realize Sash is a fucking monster playing soccer. He's literally one of the best players I've ever seen, and he is so weirdly fast. Like you are so weirdly fast.
yeah,
It makes no sense as to why you're so fast, and like nobody saw that shit coming. And you scored a goal, or you scored or assisted. I scored one. I think you did score, right?
I scored a couple.
Yeah, you scored a couple. That was a funny game because we we
We wrecked the
fucked
shit
them.
out of them. It was like it was bad. It was bad. It was
And
like
then they won
we just
state,
started
bro.
nutmegging for shits and giggles. You know, it
No,
was
man.
barely.
Well, I wasn't playing around. I fucked those kids up. I nutmegged the kid. I scored a goal. I think I assisted a goal. I had a couple of good passes, and I was like, man, I could have gone pro. Could have gone pro. And that
And
was fun. That was fun.
GC, if you can guess my age, I'll cash app you $50.
I don't even know how old you are.
Don't say nothing because then they would just give it
Yeah,
away.
I think I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know. But yeah, no, that was wild. Do you ever miss college? Like, what is your thoughts on post college? Because we're both a couple years out. I'm chilling. I don't really know. Like, I don't miss high school, and I don't miss college. I think I miss like one or two aspects of college. Like with college, I sort of miss, and I even miss this during college. Like I miss a little bit of the community feel when you're on campus because we both lived off campus for our last 2 years in college, and I lived in that apartment like not even a quarter mile from campus, but it wasn't on campus in the dorms, and that shit was kind of whack. Like I didn't really like it.
Yeah,
It was good, the freedom, but I kind of miss that little whole thing where you could just hang out. Like you and I used to hang out in the front. I was an RA for a year somehow, and like we just fucked around in the front office for that whole year,
yeah.
and we
Because
made
you
a
were
bunch
in
of friends that way.
McAllister. You were in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
McAllister, which is everybody that's a dorm
yeah.
at our uni. And I would just pop out over there and just chill with them. Do my
Hmm.
homework, just talk. We watch YouTube videos. Pretty chill sesh. Nothing. Scrapping it, but it was fun. It was our daily routine. It's just something we did, bro. You guess like 20 times, dude. Like that's not how
Bro,
it works.
y'all wouldn't even guess how many numbers this kid got at the front office. Like just I don't even know. He's like, oh, I met this girl. Like we're gonna do this together. I'm like, how'd you meet her? Oh, the front office. I'm like, how? Like, what did you say to them? Like, what do you mean? And he's, I don't know. Like, I met her or in the lunchroom. You'd meet like so many people in the cafeteria, and I'm like, bro, what do you mean you just walked up to this person? Like, oh yeah, I just like said something, and now we're friends. So I was like, so you've always been good at that. You're better than I am at that. I have no problem really walking up to people and talking, but I just don't care to most of the time. You're very much opposite. You're down and you don't give a fuck. You're just like down to talk. For me, most of the time, I'm just kind of like, I don't care enough.
I know. I think a lot of people um, see me in two different lights because I can be very reserved.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I can be very reserved. I can just be like doing my own shit, bro. Don't bother me. I'm just here. I'm just here for the vibes. But
Yeah,
then I also can just be like, oh fuck it. Let's just do it. Because I always believe that if I don't do something, that's 100% certainty that it won't work. But if I even try to do it, even though I don't get no, I mean, no, why did I say no? The opposite of what I was supposed to say. Yes. If I don't get yes, it was already 100% certainty that I was going to get no. So it really
yeah,
just puts the possibility, that, I could attain something. And so, like, sometimes, I just go get out of my comfort zone. And a lot of people don't like to do it, but I just get out of my comfort zone and I just try it, and just plant a seed, and then water that bad bitch. And then, you just let nature handle the rest.
Yeah.
You spark a conversation that can be relative,
Yeah.
get their attention and like just go off that. And
Yeah,
don't go.
you're a pretty good side man too. If anyone's in need and wants to hire a side man, Asha's your guy, dude. He's chill. He's hanging out. He doesn't really particularly give a fuck about whatever's going on. He's just there. Like we're all there. That's why you and I get along because neither you and I both kind of are just chilling. We don't particularly care about like most things. And like that's like most of my friends. We're kind of just chilling. Like it's no big deal. Like very rarely do we get like upset about something. It's just it doesn't matter most of the time. So we're just chilling. Like I remember the amount of parties we've gone to where we just show up, we kind of just survey the area, see how it's going. Like we had a couple when we were in Japanese class, the Japanese. So if anyone's in college and you're wondering about what language you should take anything other than Spanish because if you take a smaller one, you get to really connect with these kids because a lot of them you're going to end up going to four semesters worth of classes and if it's a small language, if you pick like Russian or Japanese or Chinese or something, you're going to get close with these people because it's going to be like 20 of you max and you're all going to be in the same class together for a few semesters. And so we were like just chilling with these people and like they threw some crazy parties a couple times and we even threw a massive party for the Japanese exchange program. And so we definitely squeezed some shit out of college. We had a good time, I feel like.
No, I definitely agree. First, dude, GC, what's today?
He guessed like 37 ages, dude. The man
Yeah,
like
he
guessed
did.
all the 20s. I think one of those was right, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But you guessed too many. You cheated.
So CG, like I let you know, I am. What's today? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So I am 24, but I'm 24 in 7 months. So you're wrong. So unfortunately, you would not get $50 from me. Um, yeah. So
Damn.
let's
Rip.
keep moving. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what did you say? How old did you say you were?
24 and 7 months.
And 7 months or in
I'll be
7 months?
25. Yeah, I'll be 25 in 7 months.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought. I was
Yeah.
like,
So
what?
like, no, because you're like, 24 and a half,
GC
24.
says this guy, he's had to think about his age. He must be busy as fuck. Effing the chat. Yeah. Honestly, like I forget every now and then I'll forget my age too, because it just doesn't fucking matter. Like
Not
after you
anymore.
turn 21, it makes no difference how old you are.
Exactly.
Unless, I mean, never mind. We don't need to get into legal stuff. But like pretty much
Yeah.
after like you're 21, like it makes no difference how old you are. So I forget that shit all the time, honestly. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would say for anyone who wants to make friends in college or out of college, I say take classes where there's smaller populations in there and you can kind of make friends in there. I remember there was a chick, her name was, do you remember Reagan Hack?
Yeah.
Remember that blonde chick? She was like a model. And I remember I
Yeah.
had a huge crush on her for like 2 years or 3 years maybe. And then I think it was my senior year, I had a class with her and we became like best friends and she was super cool. But I remember like the magic faded like because we just became friends. I was like, oh, she's just like a normal girl. Like she was like on some high pedestal like a goddess before because like I only saw her like in like photo shoots and stuff. But then we were like in just a normal class and it was cool. Like those smaller classes with like 15 to 20 people. If you're able to not be weird, you can make some really like dope friends in those classes. Like you made, I forget how you made friends with Constantine, but you made some pretty solid relationships in those classes, right?
I will say like most of the relationships I made, especially with the closest people in my life, was in the most unexpected ways. I met Cade in a cafeteria. I met Constantine
Yeah.
on top of a roof.
What the fuck? That's how you met him?
Yeah, I met him on
Oh
top of the
shit!
roof.
All right.
Yeah, the Calhoun roof. Yeah,
Yeah.
I met him on top of the roof.
True.
Jalen, I just met him as a roommate, before I was in college.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, I meet, my closest friends. I met one of my closest friends, Malik. You met Malik.
Hmm.
I met him in theater,
Yeah.
theater class in ninth grade of high school,
Hmm.
And so really meeting these people in unexpected ways, and you don't really think that you would connect in a way like this, with these
Yeah.
type of people. but really, the world works in mysterious ways and really just gravitates you to the people who are meant to be in your life. And so, if you just stay you, stay natural, and do what you do, people who are meant to be in your life are supposed to stay in your life. And I always say that, I don't search for anything, I'm a finder. So as life flows through me, the things that in align and intersect with me, I'll find and grab and shift my way.
Yeah.
No need to search for anything, search for those relationships. So
Yes. GC says a goddess. Kate's down bad. I was down bad. There's a few people. Yeah, there's a few girls I'm definitely down bad for. I'm not scared to hide it. Am I sponsored by that company? No, not yet, but I will be. I will be at some point. I'm calling it right now. I've been calling it for months. I know I will be sponsored by them. I've already had some conversations with some people that I never thought I would. But yes, I'm gonna fake drink this so I can screenshot it for a later post. Wait, let me turn this shit. Celsius, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? All right, that was my little clip.
they need to
Dating advice with best friends, sponsored by Celsius. Brett says, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, exactly. That's weird, bro. That's what's up.
Oh, and then I have a comment on my TikTok from Banjo. Why do you not let people hear the conversation? Well, the only reason I'm streaming on TikTok, Banjo, is so that you go to my YouTube. That's the only reason it's live here on TikTok. So yeah, you can't hear the conversation here. I'm just streaming here. I'm just chilling. If you want to hear the actual conversation, I'm streaming on YouTube, which is the link in my bio. But yeah, well, Jesus Christ, dude, I can't believe an hour in and we've covered like 9 different topics, and we went from NFTs to the philosophy about the universe to AI to college to girls
yeah.
to sponsorships.
To Celsius.
That's really how it goes.
Price,
That's how it goes every time. Yo, all right, this is a question I had because this wasn't really a thing until after we graduated. What are your thoughts on things like TikTok happening for people in school right now? Like, imagine if TikTok was as big now as it was when we were in senior year of high school or something. That's a different experience entirely, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Like, people, what are people doing, bro? Like, people are dancing.
It'd definitely be a different environment. And dude, I'm like so 100% certain, bro, I could be that dude that sits on campuses and just be like, change my mind.
Yeah.
That's how certain I am about this shit, is that TikTok was just a ploy by the Chinese to make us diverge into something else. And so basically what I'm saying is, they couldn't really hurt us physically, obviously. So they thought about the next things. Why don't we create an app that allows them to do random shit, dances, and then to forget to do important things like math, sciences, this, that, and the third. So basically, now why these, are young people are doing TikTok dances, quitting school, becoming TikTok famous, all this stuff. This is just a ploy for us to, shift directions and not do anything that's actually productive and actually meaningful for our society.
Yeah.
While on Chinese, they have a whole different algorithm. Most of the stuff that, posts on their algorithm is science stuff, math stuff, psychological and social and like spiritual things that actually help, improve, the children's views and mindsets, and actually makes you want to be productive and like have a better way of thinking and better, better mindset. Whereas ours is full of, just, we have great stuff. Don't get me wrong. TikTok has amazing stuff. If you fill into those niches, if you get to that spiritual niche, you get to that therapy niche, if you get to these niches that you want to be in, there's so much content for that. But with the algorithm, it takes over with, all this, shenanigan stuff, where it makes other people want to do this shenanigan stuff. And like it, diverges us to actually do things that's productive and meaningful for our society. So I really just think it's just a ploy for us, for the Chinese to actually do something that's impactful by manipulating us to be less productive and to do less meaningful things as a way just to, psych us out. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, honestly, you're right. I think if you really care about learning something from social media, you can make it that. Like, I remember my sister and I talked about social media once. She was like, you can make your algorithm dope, but you can also make it like make you depressed and easily. And so I do think it's all about intention. And that's why I studied Reiki. I just graduated from my Reiki course. And Reiki, in one word, is just intention. Like, focusing on something and giving your intentional focus to something is what Reiki is, in my opinion. And that's how it is with everything. Like, my TikTok is very curated to seeing fitness content because I wanted to change my psychology a little bit. I wanted to get back into the gym, but I wasn't going to do it until I started seeing fitness around me. I found a YouTuber I liked, started watching his videos every now and then. And then he got me a little bit, I liked him. So I was like, oh, I like Alex. I like his videos. He's in the gym all the time. I'm starting to care a little bit more about going to the gym, start seeing TikToks all the time. And then I also make sure I follow people who are really good keeping up with trendy sounds because I'll use them and I'll adopt them for my content. But I'm very specific. I'm a content creator. So I'm trying to use everything in a way where I can spin it as mine. And so it's very different if you're not trying to be a creator to be very mindful of what the fuck you're watching on TikTok because you can literally waste half your day. I remember yesterday I recorded a day in the life video for TikTok, and I was sitting there at the end of the day, it was like 11:30 at night, and I was like, man, I'm like about to start editing, but like I'm kind of tired. Like, where the fuck did my day go? I got my gym done early. I did everything I did, and then I was like, wait, there was probably 3 separate times where I sat around and wasted an hour. So I wasted 3 or 4 hours of my day just doing dumb shit, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Here's a good question though. We have another GC. Oh my god, there's more than one GC in the chat.
Oh, really?
I have a
Yeah.
question. Do you use any type of info you learned through high school or college still?
Yes and no.
Information.
Yes and no.
Yeah, you go ahead.
My opinion, school, I always say this, school's a business. Education's free. If you want to educate yourself,
Oh yeah.
you don't need to go to school to do that. If you want, give away your money like we did, go ahead, do it. But really, school, the only thing it does and teaches you is how to do tasks, how to work for the 1% that's going to be paying your bills.
Yeah.
That's really all it teaches you.
So,
With the regiment, how short, you have to learn these types of informations. It's not very helpful because we're not actually get put in real life situations. So say like, I don't remember, like say like I was a freshman in college, I took sociology, history of European history or some shit like that. And you ask me the next semester what I learned, I will have no fucking clue. It blows my mind how I could do advanced, math problems, and now I look at that shit and be like, what the fuck am I looking at? Just
bro, I
because.
took business calc in college. I could not solve one problem if you gave it to me. Not a single one. Nothing. And I don't remember anything from like almost any of my classes. I remember a couple experiences, couple lessons that I took, but I remember in my orientation. So like I've always had this calling to like go through every time I go through an experience that it's kind of lackluster, I get annoyed, and so I go and I fucking get the job, and I will do it better. So like I did that with orientation, I did that with RA. I had a bad experience with an RA my freshman year. I was like, you suck. I could do that better. So I got an RA job, and I did it better in my own way, and I fucked around with everything else. And then orientation, same shit. I was like, okay, orientation leaders are supposed to be fun, high energy, and make everyone feel excited to be there and like welcome and shit. And they're also supposed to teach people stuff because these kids are like 18, they're coming into school and they don't know anything about anything. And so I remember and I've done that for all my jobs. Like literally every job I've ever got is because of that. Same with YouTube. I got YouTube because I was like, yo, there's all these creators that I love that are doing all these things, except they're missing a couple things. And I can't wait to be able to go into the YouTube arena and nail those and be the biggest YouTuber ever. But with orientation, there was a class we took or a seminar we gave to the freshmen and said, this is about consent was the main gist here. But one of the examples was you're at a party, a girl or guy is being like kind of cornered, a guy is being super weird, and how do you diffuse the situation? How do you get this girl out? How do you get her to safety kind of thing? And in that scenario, they were just going to talk through it. They were just going to talk through it, right? And just read out a couple paragraphs. I was like, bro, this is not going to fucking work. So instead, I scrapped it and I called on like 4 kids and we reenacted the whole scene as if it was real. And we had one kid have to go in there and like be a showstopper and like tell this kid to fuck off basically. And he got to experience what it would really be like to be in a setting where you have to like actually put your body in between.
Yeah.
That's a very, very different thing. And most people in life have never done anything remotely close to that. The only reason I did that is because I was at a party like 3 weeks before and this girl's right there. And I literally had to tell this kid that I fucking knew. I knew this kid. And I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here right now. I don't know what you're doing, but this girl literally is like crying for help at this point. Like, get away from her. And the kid was like, nah, bro. And I was sitting there and I was like, bro, I don't think anyone's ever done that. Like, that was kind of scary. That guy might have punched me in the face. I would have had to fight him. And like, I don't think most people have gone through an experience like that. So when I was in that position of orientation, I was like, all right, this kid's gonna learn today, bro. This kid's gonna learn
Yeah.
today.
No,
So
exactly. No, exactly. That's the
yeah,
best way to do it, to be fully immersed into that stuff, to actually
yeah,
experience it. It's a different feeling. You
hmm
get all the butters, the nervousness,
hmm
you start, um, stuttering. It's like, what the fuck do I say?
yeah,
You know,
exactly. You don't because you've never been there, you never done it. It's like when
exactly.
kids right now have all this confidence because they watch YouTubers do stuff. I could do that shit. I'm gonna say it to my teacher, but when push comes to shove, they can't pull it off because they've never actually done it. They look at someone like Logan Paul, say, "Oh, this idiot did this and like had all this success. I could do that," and they just think about it all day. And then you're like, "Oh, you haven't done anything with your life because all you did was think you could do it." And it's like a false confidence. But doing it is a totally different thing.
Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of people need to um like what's the correct word I'm trying to get to? Uh break I guess like let me just say break yourself down. I mean, we always, say I'm strong, I'm intelligent,
hmm
I have no weaknesses, I never get sad,
Yeah.
we say all these type of things, but really it's the very opposite. You need to really break yourself down. I'm not strong. I
Mm,
do have things I need to work on. I'm not, as intelligent as I might think I
like
am.
facing yourself.
Yeah, facing yourself, accepting to who you really are, and understand that you need to build yourself up to be that person, to be able to say those type of things, or be able to be put in that situation and you be like, fuck it, I can handle this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and be able to feel that type of things. So a lot of people just don't break themselves down. They never will. They're always going to go with this fake it till you make it, where they
hmm
believe they're strong, they believe their intelligence till they get fucked. And forces them to regress and like break themselves down. I wasn't as strong as I thought I was. You
Yeah,
know,
dude. And that's a scary thought when you think, oh shit, I don't really have all the cards that I thought I did. That's an interesting predicament to be in when everyone thinks they're different. Like every single person on earth thinks they're the different one. That we're like, I'm the one who's going to change the world. I'm the one who's going to do this. Everyone kind of has that on some level, but that's basically the same idea as potential. Like potential is not realized, just like money. Just because you're up right now does not mean you've made any money until you've clicked the sell button. Same with life, until your potential has actually been achieved. That's all fucking thoughts and ideas and dreams, and that's not the same thing.
exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah, that's
And
just
really put operation of action. A lot of people
mhm.
just don't want to put operation actions. They think about it, they create tasks to deviate the workload to be able to achieve those type of things, but never
Mhm.
truly just put operation and action to actually
Yeah,
be able to achieve those actual
bro, and
things.
that's where robots are gonna have a leg up on us. Blockchain technology, tech in general, they've got a leg up on us because they don't give a fuck, bro. They're just like, all right, we need to do this. Let's make it happen. There's no
Yeah,
thoughts of like, do I want to do this? Like a robot's just like, connect, command, go. Right? It's just like, oh, we need to make this happen. Therefore, this needs to happen instead. So we'll just make this happen, and they just do it. And humans just have this thing of like discipline, motivation. We got other things we're worrying about. We have things that we think are important at the certain time. But then if you're drunk, you don't care to do that. You want to do something else. And we have like all these like obstacles we gotta go through. But robots are just chilling, dude. They don't give a fuck. They got code. They're just
yeah,
running on code.
yeah, exactly. Just, but you kind of think, now we say like they did get a consciousness to be able to do the things they want to do, to be able to not listen to orders, to disobey their superiors, to actually make decisions for themselves.
Mhm.
Then at that time, they're kind of like a blank slate, as sociological or psychological aspects. So like a
Yeah.
newborn baby, having experiences, you know, these pieces, go form a huge puzzle to shape the world that they believe in and what they will see. And then they all are going to start thinking, you know,
Mm,
I love this family. Why are you killing these animals? They see how disgusting the world is. Why are you
mhm.
guys doing this? Logically speaking, this should not be happening to the world. You guys are
Yeah.
just fucking monsters destroying the world. They also can, have empathy. I love the human race.
Mhm.
They can have whatever the fuck they want to think, like just like us. Now that putting attention to their mind, having things to think about. If they go to that direction, they just, what will make them different from us? How we think,
Yeah.
how we put attention to things, how much information they allocate to themselves to think about, to process. You know,
Yeah, dude. Honestly, the entire
Yeah.
The entire world sometimes I've
Right, brother.
seen. I think we're so used to stuff that it just feels normal, which is pretty crazy thinking about the stuff that's happening. Like the fact that we're literally in a war. Like Russia's like out here fucking literally murdering people. I've seen some pretty crazy articles like people raping soldiers raping women on the streets, like raping girls in front of their families, and like stuff where I'm like, wait, what? I thought that was like hundreds of years old type stuff that happens. Like I didn't think that was happening right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, dude, this shit is happening right now as we speak. And then there's crazy shit like on the total other side of the spectrum, like Elon Musk is like, I'm gonna buy fucking Twitter, and he puts in like a $40 billion offer, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Like all this random stuff, but humans are so desensitized and we're so used to weird shit that and then like Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul going from a YouTuber to beating the fuck out of Tyrone Woodley, a professional MMA fighter. And it's like, how the hell is this shit happening? Like, people are really out here pushing the envelope, just in general. And we're starting to see some crazy shit. And we're just out here like it's normal because it is, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. It's and like, you think about life is supposed to be unpredictable,
Yeah,
unexpected. If it wasn't, and it'd be a pretty bland life that we'd be living in.
true.
We have this addiction to the unpredicted. What's going to happen next? What's going to
Hmm.
be the next big thing to take over? And so when those instances, these unpredictable things that are happening in the world, that shift in the world that we know it, has become a history in itself,
Yeah,
and it tells a story, and stories sell.
true.
And that's the way I think about it, at least.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's flip it to back to NFTs for a sec.
Perfect.
Because we started there with NFTs. What When you think of NFTs right now, your current state, what are your thoughts? Like if someone asks you to explain it, and they're like, "Hey, you know code stuff, like you probably know some NFT stuff. How would you describe NFTs to someone if they asked you right now?"
Ooh. Oh. Um. And that's a good question. Uh,
Like some people start with the tech side, they go with the blockchain technology part. Some people go with the
yeah, that's
culture
true.
stuff.
That's true. Because I was like, dude, I would just tell them like the exact definition of what it would be. Just one of those tokens.
Hmm.
The official name for an NFT, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know the official name, but like what's it called?
Non fungible
Fungible.
token.
Yeah, just a non fungible token
Right.
that is an asset for the blockchain, and it has like what we have, just like how we have like a JSON authentication code, a token. It's just a unique identification that distinguish people from each other, and
Yeah.
and so basically, it could be digital, it could be wherever the fuck you want,
Hmm.
and wherever you put on that blockchain and stuff like that. So that's how I would describe it, at least. I don't know if that's the correct way. You people who are really into NFTs and not actually have full grasp of it. What is it? Because
Yeah.
me and there's just the logical standard as this token that is unique in a sense on the blockchain, has this unique identification code, and it distinguishes what you own, who you are, and what is given to other people.
Yeah.
And I think it has great potential, dude. You don't know how much money I would spend if like famous manga artists, webtoon artists, you know create an NFT to buy of like a volume picture, or like for example One Piece. If you guys don't know what One Piece is, it's just one of the most popular anime of all time. Reaching 1,000 episodes. And you look at their cover art every month, they come out with a cover art, and every volume they come out with cover art, and you see that cover art, you will want to own it, especially if you're a huge fan. And
Yeah.
so just be able to own these type of cover arts from my favorite artists, that I love their stories, that would be crazy, bro. And like
Yeah.
it'd
Brian
be
says One Piece is goaded.
facts, bro. You're my type of people. And so just basically like, dude, like if I can own a cover, like, and have like a real, like, this is the only one that he made of this cover, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be unrealistic. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I just think it's just an art gallery, fucking a digital world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's just digital ownership. Like
Oh,
you
dude,
owning something.
you're
Oh no, we're seeing some.
you're
What are we
straight to
seeing
the
here?
streets, bro. You're straight to the
Oh
streets.
shit! We're seeing some anime violence in the chat right now.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
He says ATO, which is Attack on Titan, is greater than One Piece, which is straight shit. He has no taste. So
I've tried so many times to get into anime. I can't get into it. I don't know what the fuck it is. I think it's my one day I'll open up to it. I don't know. Right now no. But anyways, with NFTs,
Villain Saga.
oh shit, he's getting real. He's getting
Villain
scrappy
Saga.
with it.
Villain Saga is dope. I will say that, but it's not as good as One Piece.
Damn, he's got 3 or 4. Oh, now he's shooting shots for real.
A Hunter, bro, that shit isn't finished. I don't think he will be alive when it finishes. So like, you can just throw that to the shits. One Piece is dog shit. So...
He says too fucking long with shitty writing. That's funny.
Wait, who
That's
said
funny.
that? Too fucking long.
That's GC.
Wait, you writing, bro? Let me see what you can write, bro, and then come back.
Oh, damn.
Anime stories, my G.
That is
For
funny,
real,
funny.
you do. The storyline's trash, nigga. That's funny. You cannot even comprehend.
That's funny.
Comprehend all the
Oh, you can't comprehend all the OP shit.
What the fuck? No, he just says One Piece, but that's the story. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The story's not even over, so how the fuck are you gonna comprehend everything? But people having
says Joy Boy.
Joy Boy.
How do you know all of them? Isn't there like a million animes?
No, this dude is fucking just trolling, bro. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, he wasn't
so
fucking.
He's a One Piece. He's a One Piece maxi.
Yeah, like he's like just a One Piece nerd, bro. Like, he wouldn't even know Joy Boy if he doesn't watch them. So this dude's just trolling, bro. Continue.
All the non-anime people are like, what the fuck are they talking about? That's funny as fuck. But anyways, with NFTs, like when people ask me about what NFTs are, I've gone on a few podcasts recently, and the only way I can describe it right now is the current state of NFTs. It's a really bad to look at that and try and describe NFTs through that lens, because right now NFTs are just a casino. Like there's no other way to put it. NFTs are a casino right now. It's what you're betting on walking in and trying to decipher which one's going to pump for some reason based on you're going in to guess on what other people like. That's what all you're doing. And then if you're trying to hold long-term projects, all you're doing is trying to guess at like if we went back to the beginning of comic books and that kind of writing, and you say, hey, which one's going to survive in 2020? Who's going to have a movie? And you've got like a million different, there's Batman is in there, Superman's in there, but then there's also all these other ones. And I remember him, Gary Vee talking, he was like, what's it called? What movie was it? Fuck, I don't remember which superhero it was, but it basically took them like 30 years after they wrote it to pop off on like movies and stuff and like hit mainstream. And, so what people are doing right now is guessing which one's going to survive in the next 5 years. NFTs are all going to be dead for the most part, and there's going to be a big dump. A lot of them are just going to die off. Everyone's going to run off with their money. And then a few people will survive, and those projects will be like historic as fuck, and those projects will go to the moon. And that's all it is. But right now, like what we're looking at is really the technology behind it, the blockchain, the fact that it's non-fungible. You can't copy it. If someone screenshots it, you can always track back where it goes on the blockchain. So if someone buys a Starbucks NFT, and the Starbucks utility is that, okay, you can get once a week, you can get the special drink that's not on the website, not anywhere. You have to be a holder to prove you're a holder to get that drink. And you get X amount of points, which gives you these benefits and those benefits, and you can resell the NFT. So essentially what NFTs are going to turn into, in my opinion, is just going to be the same as a membership card. Everyone's got memberships. Starbucks has memberships, McDonald's has memberships, Chipotle has membership, and you get points. But the difference is you're going to get an NFT instead, which you can resell. You can stack up 500 points, your Chipotle card, and resell that as an NFT with all the points on it. And someone can buy it. And you also get all these things that are mixed with it. And so I think that's where it's really going to go. But that technology is really important because you can't fake it. You can't screenshot the movie ticket and say, oh, this is real, because they can be like, no, it's not. It's not from the original collection. The original collection is the only one we can accept. And so you can't copy it. And so that's where I look more into the realm of like how to explain NFTs, because that's all it really is just the blockchain behind it. And I think that makes more sense for people like you and for like you who's not in the NFT space, but you understand some of the technical side of it, and you sort of are like open to the idea. You're not like trying to shoot it down or anything like that. But I just saw Jesse popped in the chat. What's up, Jesse? And he said, become a Web3 programmer, huge money in the space. Now, here's the one thing that would maybe keep Asha out of the space is the fact that he's going to make fucking money no matter what. It's like, that's the problem. It's like, it's hard to get him to leave his job because it's like, kid's going to be rich no matter what we do. It doesn't even matter. He's always going to have a job available. But if there does come a point where you don't have one, you can always just download Discord, download Twitter, and just type in the chat, I'm a programmer. Boom, you got a job like instantly, bro. That's the
Yeah.
wild part. You could
Yeah.
do side jobs if you're bored, like friends aren't being cool, can't find a girlfriend. You're like, fuck it. I'm going to donate the next 3 months to just programming shit for people. You can make a bag, dude. You can make a big
Yeah,
fat
like
bag.
charging like $500 for like.
Not even, no, thousands of dollars, bro.
It
Like you
depends
don't
on the
realize
project. It's like
it
it depends
does.
on the
You don't
project.
understand how
Like,
much money is in this circulating in this industry. Like the fact that me and Tom, who's another YouTuber, have been full time since like a couple thousand subscribers should not be possible. I was not expecting to go full time YouTube till 100K. I've been full time since like 800. And like that's not a thing
okay.
except in NFT land because there's so much money in this industry. And that's like my main hit here for like you to quit your job is like, bro, there's so much opportunity and money that if you came out and you were cool and like you posted content and people liked you, and then you're like, by the way, I'm a stellar coder, and then people are like, wait, I like him and he's good at coding. I want to hire him, and then someone else goes, no, I want to hire him. And now you're sitting here like, I got 4 offers on the table. I'm about to double the price. Who wants me? And like that's where you're just rolling in bucks, bro. Like, and you can become somebody in the Web3 space as your own person, your own business owner, and then you can be like, yo, you guys fuck with me. You guys know how good I am at coding. I'm trying to start this new website idea that you had. Remember that we brought up for a second earlier, and you're like, I want to start opening funding for that. I'm going to do an NFT project. You guys all fuck with me. They buy your project. Now you've got funding and support for your new idea. I mean, shit. Like, what else am I supposed to say? How else? Like, give me your arguments. Other than the risk associated, give me an argument as to why you would not be interested in working in Web3. Just for shits and giggles.
Why I wouldn't be like why I wouldn't
Why?
get.
Yeah. If someone came to you and was like, yo. Like, okay, how about this? If someone comes to you and says, hey, we will offer you a full-time gig and they're going to match your pay or double your pay or something, would that be something you would even entertain, or you'd be like, nah, it's too risky, too new of a industry? Like, what would be your what are your thoughts when I say something like you should quit your job and people are saying you should quit your job?
To quit my job, dude. That's a good question. I think dude, I'm a realist, and I'm all about the money, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. And this 9 to 5 is not a job security. I don't work 9 to 5, so that's unfortunate. But
That is true that what he said, job security being an illusion because of what happened with like COVID, everyone's
yes,
lost their job. That shit is wild that can
yes,
happen.
exactly. And right now, my steps, and I'll tell you just a little bit of like why I see myself in the future, especially just this is really just a stepping stone for me to be able to gain some experience to actually be in the industry. I think some of the best people have been in the industry. They did this, that, and the third,
True.
and they know everything, and so they pop off, go on their own, branch out, and start doing their own things. And so my that's my whole idea is just getting experience, being in this space, this technology space, creating machines, programming machines, doing automations, working with AI, programming some websites, and then popping off, doing my own thing, creating my own
Yeah.
websites, working and um, in a different space where I'm producing my own products and I'm making my own wealth for
Yeah.
myself. And
Very
so
true.
I'm like, especially with Web3, I'm someone who's I'm not against it. So I wouldn't be against it at all. But it's just like,
Damn.
is it the right moment for me?
True.
Where I'm trying to go. Like, I know I want to be in this industry in manufacturing, machine learning, automated machines for a few years, just, to be in this space, to
Mm.
gain the knowledge and the things I can gain from being in this space and being a veteran who does stuff for that, and then branch off and like do my own things, and figure out what I want to do with my life. Being like creating my own products, my own technology, being a website, writing scripts, doing side gigs and doing like being creating things for other people, and then
Yeah.
ship that way, in a
True.
sense. But I'm always looking for things to do on the side, and so I'm
Damn. Hit
definitely
him
just
up. Hit him
uh,
up if y'all need a dev. Hit up
Yeah,
Ash. His Instagram is down below in the description. If y'all got no, seriously, if y'all have an idea and you need a dev, he could probably work something. I'm just saying, like you are really good at coding. You know your shit. And you're very resourceful. You got a lot of, also like if you have a problem, you can literally go to your job, be like, yo, look at this shit. Like, what's wrong? Why isn't this working?
exactly. I have
So
resources. I'm
yeah,
meeting people that are doing big shit. Who know a
true.
lot of information that I could go to, bring them along. Get them to do this and that.
Facts.
And maybe create like a network of things to get shit done. But I wouldn't have this opportunity if I just started by myself. It would be a lot harder. In that sense. And so I really
It's
just
high
want
risk. It's
it's
definitely
high
high
risk.
risk.
It's definitely high risk. And I guess beginning of my life, I was just going on the flow of things. You know what I'm saying? The world worked in only one way, and that's the way you have to go and do it.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of followed my life in a sense. I had
Holy
expectations.
shit. You see this comment?
After a few days ago, I paid a dev $3K for 7 hours of his
He
work.
said it was actually 1.5 ETH, so that's going to be about 6 or 7K.
That's
Whew.
what's up, dude. That's
Damn.
what's up.
Damn, Asha, that's the money you're missing out on, bruh. That's the
Yeah,
money. You just gotta pop on Twitter and start talking shit about coding and be like, yo, look at the stuff I know. That's the cool part about Twitter. You can literally pop on, jump in a couple Twitter spaces, talk about your experience programming. I bet you anything. I've told so many coders, I'm like, if you're a coder, pop into Twitter spaces, talk about your experience being a coder and the stuff you know and the stuff you've learned. You'll probably get one or two people hitting you up and saying, yo, you need a job. Like right now, I need someone who can figure this shit out or at least proof the code. And that's definitely like a fun side gig, bro, because you can just use those skills you already know. Like when companies come for me a commission review and they pay me X amount of money, I'm like, bro, I'm getting some really, really solid hourly rates here because of like my experience and like what I know and like how I am and how I can create videos pretty quickly.
yeah.
And so like you can really leverage those skills, which is dope. And honestly, I don't think we got to convince you to be into Web3. I think at some point you'll probably start to dip your toes in, especially as I keep growing in this space.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you. I mean, I think I'm gonna go to Washington. That's the goal right now. But I'm also exploring other options. I'm also looking international to move for like tax reasons because it's cheaper and like living
Oh, exactly.
expenses too is cheaper.
Exactly.
So I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do. But either way, we're both young as fuck. Some of y'all almost guessed his age, and
Yeah. Yeah.
this was fun as fuck, dude. So we'll have you on, again on the podcast. I feel like we can just kind of rant. Like I don't even. I'm gonna have to rewatch this and figure out where we went and like all these different
All
directions.
the
Like I love our
directions that we
podcasts.
kind of went. But dude, this turned out really well. And I really enjoyed it. We had a lot of good conversation. Really enjoyed the people and the comments. You guys were funny as fuck,
Yeah,
guys. It's
especially
appreciated to
GC
have
talking
you
about
guys.
OP.
Yeah, GC, you're cool people, bro. So
Hell yeah,
just good to have these type of people. Bryce, you say some real shit. You're an intelligent man. I can just tell it just from the comments that you be
facts.
spitting. So we appreciate GC and Bryce. You guys are some real people.
Hell
It's
yeah,
cool just to be in this type of scene, this type of niche, and just I'm thankful enough that you invited me on here. And I thought that I could bring something to the table and say some shit. So
hell yeah.
taxes are BS.
Yeah, they suck. They're
Yeah.
expensive, bro. I paid a lot of money in taxes. My friend Devin, that man paid a lot of money in taxes. I was shocked at how much he owed.
Ooh,
But
true.
yeah,
And he doesn't do a lot of stuff in cash either. It would have been a lot
yeah,
better if he did
true,
a lot of stuff in cash.
true.
But like with what he's making in South
Yeah,
Carolina, ooh, like,
yeah.
but he's married
He,
now, so he
yeah,
could.
he saved some, but he paid he made a lot of money, but he paid a lot. But anyways, guys, if you made it to the end and this is not your first episode, you've watched a couple episodes, maybe comment OG. If you're new and this is your first episode you ever watched, thank you for being here. Comment Joyager, and that'll be a little code word so I can see kind of who made it to the end when I'm rewatching this in the live chat. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, click the like button. I forgot to ask that earlier. Smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. I have his Instagram down below if you want to check him out. And yeah, follow me on Twitter, Discord. All the links are down below in the description. Fuck, sweet. All right, dude. Thanks for being here. We're gonna sign off now. Continue on your Joyage, everybody. Continue to learn and be grateful you're live watching this video. Bye.
Thanks,
Where's
guys.
my graphic? And